What is up, guys? So this is going to be my trailer breakdown for The Flash Season 4 Episode 9 titled Don't Run. But before the breakdown, let's watch the trailer.
Hello, Mr. Allen.
DeVoe, he took Barry.
Where's my son?
Has he gone missing?
He's not missing. He was taken.
I'm here for a reason. Why?
The lesson for today is simple. There are no happy endings.
If you hurt him, if you put a hand on it!
His body may be human.
DeVoe!
His brain
DeVoe!
is smarter than yours.
DeVoe!
The Flash, mid-season finale this Tuesday at 8/7 Central on the CW.
That was intense. I think this definitely should have been the episode right after episode 7, but the crossover got in the way of that. I think the crossover should have been after this episode, but whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm just going to read the synopsis real quick. Ammunit kidnaps Caitlin and puts metadapner handcuffs on her to keep her from turning into Killer Frost. Ammunit tells Caitlin she needs to perform a tricky medical task, and if Caitlin fails, Ammunit will kill her. Meanwhile, the Thinker traps the Flash in a speedster-proof prison with the clock ticking. The team doesn't have the time or resources to track both Caitlin and Barry, so Iris is forced to choose who to save. So the Killer Frost part of the episode is in the trailer for like 1 second. You see here Caitlin is in CC jitters, and then it blows up, probably Blacksmith, who is Ammunit Black, coming to get her. So the trailer chose to focus more on the Flash story, which I'm not against at all. The show is called The Flash, after all. But the reason Ammunit is actually kidnapping Caitlin is because she needs Caitlin to do some sort of surgery on this guy. I don't know who this is, but we'll just have to wait to see who this is. But until then, all we know is that's the reason Ammunit kidnapped Caitlin. But the whole thing with Iris needing to choose between the two who to save, she will definitely choose Barry. If she doesn't choose Barry, that wouldn't make any sense whatsoever. Iris and Caitlin aren't really that close friends. They didn't really bond ever until episode 5. So it wouldn't really make any sense for her to choose anybody but Barry. Maybe this leads Caitlin to like betraying the team, becoming full Killer Frost, because the team didn't save her, and now, I don't know, something like that. I think that would be really cool if this is what leads her to become the full Killer Frost, like fully evil Killer Frost. Although, watching the crossover with all the Killer Frost moments, Killer Frost working together with the heroes, it made me think that maybe DC needs an ice hero. They have so many ice villains. They have Captain Cold, Mr. Freeze, Killer Frost, and Icicle. Just watch Young Justice episode 1. They have so many ice villains, it's crazy. So why not make one of them a hero? And which one is better than Killer Frost? Despite the killer in her name, which, I mean, I'm guessing her name is just Frost now. Her powers are really cool to see, and especially in the crossover, that it looked awesome. So I wouldn't mind it. I actually wouldn't mind it anymore if Killer Frost stayed a hero, or at least an anti-hero instead of a villain, because her powers are so cool. I want to see more of her powers in this episode. Although she's wearing metadapner handcuffs, so we probably won't. But either way, in the future, it's going to be awesome. The thing is, though, about this storyline, Killer Frost, Ammunit Black, is that I'm not exactly excited for it. I just don't believe that Ammunit Black is powerful enough to actually kidnap and detain Caitlin. Caitlin is really powerful. She's one of the most powerful superheroes in the Arrowverse. It does not make any sense that Ammunit Black, who could control one metal and moves it really slow and not in creative ways like in episode 5, it doesn't make sense that she is powerful enough to detain Caitlin. It was said that she was powerful. She was really powerful in episode 5. It was said, but she just wasn't at all. She wasn't threatening at all. Caitlin just looked so much more powerful, and in this episode, maybe they'll find a way to make Ammunit Black look more powerful. I'm really hoping they do, but until then, I just don't believe it. And Ammunit Black wasn't a good villain at all in episode 5. So I'm not really excited for that whole storyline with her, because it doesn't make sense and she's not a good villain. The question that arises from this trailer is, how did the Thinker actually manage to trap Barry in the speedster-proof prison that it says in the synopsis? Well, the answer probably is right here. You see the Thinker in the streets. So what happens is probably that he knows exactly where Barry's going to run, so he goes there, Barry sees him, and then runs after him, and maybe the chair is faster than we think. And then he leads him to the trap where he is kept, where Barry is kept for the rest of the episode, with the clock ticking, which is what it says in the synopsis. I don't really know what that means. I'm guessing it means that if the Flash doesn't do something, DeVoe will kill Joe. So DeVoe is probably using Joe as leverage. Because when Barry says, if you hurt him, if you lay a hand on him, he's talking about Joe. We know that because, or at least the trailer is hinting he's talking about Joe. Because when he's saying that, the camera actually hovers over Joe, and then we see Joe on the camera or on the recording that the Thinker has. So the Thinker is spying on Joe and gonna use Joe as leverage against Barry. That's really the only thing I could think of. And the team doesn't have the time or resources to track both Caitlin and Barry. That doesn't make that. That's just how. And where's Wally during all this? If they just found Wally can go save Caitlin, and then the rest can deal with Barry. I don't know why Wally isn't in this episode. I really hope they explain it because it doesn't make any sense now. But even without Wally, the team doesn't have the time or resources to track both of them. That just sounds a little ridiculous to me. They have a lot of allies, like a lot of allies. I know they're only allowed to call them in November, once in November a year, but I mean that just doesn't make sense for the universe. But so I really hope they explain this. And then it says that Iris is forced to choose who to save. Why is it falling into Iris's hands? Why is she the leader of the team? It doesn't make any sense. I don't hate her, but it just doesn't make any sense that she's the leader of Team Flash. Even when Barry was gone, Cisco 100% deserved to be the leader, not Iris at all. And now Iris being the leader, it still makes no sense. When Barry's MIA, like he is in this episode, Cisco should become the leader, and he should get the decisions. He should be making the decisions, like whether or not to go save Caitlin or Barry. And that would make so much more sense if it was in his hands, because Iris will 100% choose Barry. But Cisco, he's probably equally friends with both Barry and Caitlin. He's known Caitlin for longer. So that is a harder decision for him. For Iris, it's a really easy decision, so it would make so much more sense if Cisco was in Iris's position in this synopsis. But it does look like that from the promotional photos. It actually looks like they go to save Caitlin. You could say that this might happen before she gets captured. She gets kidnapped by Amy Black, but that guy next to them is probably the guy that she's doing surgery on. So this is probably right after they save her. So the Elongated Man vibe go to save Caitlin, which means, does that mean that Iris chose Caitlin to save? If she did, that would not make any sense. Like I said before, they never really bonded. They were friends. They became friends in episode 5. They became friends 5 weeks ago. Yeah, 5 weeks ago, and Barry and Iris are married. It just doesn't make any sense for Iris to choose Caitlin, which is why I just said Cisco should have been choosing this decision, because now it just doesn't make any sense. So we also learned from the promotional photos that Elongated Man still doesn't have a new suit. His suit still looks like it did in episode 6, or what episode did he get his new suit? I think episode 6, right? It looks like crap. It looks so bad. I really hope he gets his new suit at the end. What I'm hoping is that it's a purple suit, because the red suit, it would look cool, but it would clash with Flash. It wouldn't add, and Vibe, they both have red on them. It wouldn't add any more colors to the team. It would match them. It would make the team look a little uniformed, a little matched. But I would have preferred if they added some colors to the team. They also have Killer Frost, who is blue. So they have red, black, and some red and yellow, blue, and then purple. I think it would be a much more colorful, vibrant team. But really, anything is better than this, because this is gray. It doesn't exactly add any color to the team, and it looks stupid. So I'm hoping by the end of this episode, he finally gets his new suit. Cisco, although he looks very busy, somehow finds the time and manages to make him a new suit that looks awesome, that could stretch. I'm excited to see his new suit, and I really hope it happens soon. So at the end of the trailer, when Barry's screaming DeVoe's name 3 times, it's so intense. It gave me chills, not gonna lie. This episode in general looks like it's going to be really intense. It looks like it's going to be a lot like episode 7, where there's no humor, it's just seriousness. Granted, episode 7 had 1 or 2 moments of humor in the entire episode, which I don't think is probably not enough. It's fine to have no humor in an episode if it's not every single episode that DeVoe is in. I was scared this was going to happen, that it would become like season 3, where every episode the main villain is in, Barry gets all serious all the time. Which, again, is fine if it's not every single episode, but it looks like it will be, because episode 7 and episode 9, the 2 most DeVoe-heavy episodes, look really serious. But either way, if this episode has a little bit of humor in it, it's going to be an awesome episode. This trailer looks intense. It looks awesome. So what do you think about the trailer? Let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.